Hello, I'm Natasha and I'm 25 years old.
Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm 23.
Hello, I'm Ben Carr, and I manage the Lifelong Links service in Hertfordshire. Okay, so I was just going to say we're here today to talk about Lifelong Links and the offer being made to young parents who are sort of care experienced in Hertfordshire. I suppose the aim of Lifelong Links is to help young people to reconnect and build new relationships going forward. One of the first questions that we'd like to sort of know, or other people would like to know, is how did you hear about the group that you've been coming along to?
So, in terms of knowing about the group, I was actually referred over by my social worker at the time from the Care Leavers team to find out about the group and what they sort of do. And I think I think for everyone else in the group, it's been a referral for them. That's how they've come into the group. I think I'd say I've been attending the group now for a good couple of months now, I'd say. Our group are held every 2 weeks on a Wednesday at the moment, currently at 10:30. If someone asked what the group was about, I'd say it's about parents supporting parents and also being able to reach out and get some other advice from other services that are out there that don't necessarily have to be social services or professionals in the term of where you're going to get judgment. They're there to help you and advise in anything that you may feel that you need support with but don't know where to turn to as such, because it is very difficult trying to find information, because as much as we have Google, we've got all this new tech. You might sit there on Google, but after 10 minutes you're going to be completely frazzled and thinking, all right, I've just got too much information. Whereas in the group there is a lot of information, but it's not something that you're going to think, oh God, I can't handle it. And also after the group as well, we always get emails from Bev and Samantha and Joe to say, this is what we covered in the meeting today, and any other references for any other agencies that attended as well, which is really helpful, because at the time in the meeting you might have felt, oh, I don't want to say something now, I want to speak to him privately.
It's nice to just know that you're not on your own, even though you feel like it.
I'd say 100%. It's definitely, that's what I find most useful, is being able to sort of hear other people's stories and then be able to sort of relate. Whereas other people might not understand when you try and have a conversation with them about a certain situation that you find yourself in, and then they'll go, oh, okay, well, I have no clue. So they're not really able to help. Whereas in the group, more people might have been in the situation or something similar. So it's a lot more helpful, because then they go, right, in my circumstance, this is what happened and this is what I did. This might be useful to you.
Other parents reaching out to other parents and making sure that we're all supported and feel supported, but in a safe environment. The other thing I found really helpful is the other connections we've made through the group. There's quite a lot of different links to different organisations and charities and stuff like that, which can give us information or guidance on other situations. So like we've got the family rights group that come in on a regular basis, and they're very much about keeping families together, even if it's not with immediate family, and changing policies and things like that nationwide, things that need to change, and making that change and making sure that our voices get heard. To make a change in your circumstances, not just yours, but somebody else's too, further down the line.
I think one of the conversations that I know that myself and Bev were having with you, Natasha, earlier at one of the Care Leavers team meetings was around, I suppose, the common experience that you have with the other young parents in the group, is that you are parents, but you also have an experience of being care. And so I was thinking about what does it mean for you in terms of being in that group and all coming together and with other people in that group.
What it means for me is that I'm not being judged for like the label as such as I have over my head as a care leaver or a young person that was in care, or there might be some other parents in the group that were still are in the system. But it's just that stigmatism around that, and being in the group, there is nothing like that. Whereas everyone, literally, we see each other's parents, we don't really go, oh, she was in care and this isn't this and this. It's just being able to go, right, I'm a mum, you're a dad, I've got this issue, can you help me with this issue? Or do you know any organisations that can help me with dealing with an issue that I'm facing? And having the guest speakers that we've had recently. So I think we've had Believe, we've got the Family Rights Group, and then we also had another person, and they were telling us about college courses and funding that we're not aware of, really. And obviously, it would have been very useful to have known all that information back then when I was a bit younger. And I think that information needs to be put out there for everyone else. But being in the group, there are obviously other girls that other parents that are younger than myself. So it's resourcefulness, really, that they're getting out of it.
Yeah, so something a lot of us, any care leaver will say, a parent or not, is that once you hit that age where you leave the care system, that stigma still follows you around. You're a troublemaker because you're a care leaver, or you're going to struggle in life with relationships and things like that because you're a care leaver, and you didn't have a stable upbringing, or things that you did in your past as a child in care, who obviously has had a very difficult upbringing, regardless of whether or not it was with one carer or not. That stigma still follows you around when you leave care, and we're humans at the end of the day. We're humans just as much as anybody else. So the fact that there is that negative stigma attached to us as people throughout our adulthood, it seems really, really unjust. It needs to change. Absolutely, it needs to change.
I'd say to the next parent that's coming into the group, I'd say, we haven't read your case files. We don't know anything about you. We're going to meet you at face value. We don't know anything about you. We're not there to judge. We're there to help you and support you in any way we can. And that's sometimes what people want, is that support, of someone that's not going to judge you. And I feel like the relationship I started forming with Rebecca, I can now call her and say, oh, do you know what? I'm having a really tough moment. Can I call you for a rant for 5-10 minutes? It might end up being an hour or 2 hours. But it's that we're there for you to help you. And also, even if you have any issues with like the Litlins, like we can say, oh, right, I've got 2 kids, mine are 5 and 4, when they were such and such an age. So terrible 2s and terrible 3s. Yeah. Right, this is how I dealt with it, and this is what you could try. And there's obviously everyone's parented differently, so there's so many different things that we can do to help you.
I'd also say, don't be nervous. We are not a group of professionals. Like, obviously there are professionals involved in the meetings and stuff, but us as parents, we are not professionals, and we are winging it just like every other parent out there does. So you can feel nervous, you can come on board. You don't have to say anything, you don't have to be on screen. You can just sit there and listen, and you might find that in itself is helpful enough. And once you've got your own kind of 2 feet on the ground and you kind of sussed us out, then you might feel a little bit more open to, okay, well, maybe I'll chip in today, or actually maybe I won't, maybe I'll just sit on the sidelines again. But I would say, come and dip your feet in the water, because we're actually a really, really friendly group of girls and parents, and we are really supportive of one another. We don't have all the answers. We can't fix everything, just like anybody else. Do you know what I mean? We're all winging it. There's no judgment. There's really no judgment. And we're really easy to get along with. Like, we all just kind of click. Because there's no judgment, there's no pressure, there's no, oh my gosh, there's no gossiping or anything like that. It's very kind of, what stays in the group stays in the group. What's said in the group stays in the group. They're there if, other people are there if we need them on the outside of the group. We're still there. So yeah, come and join us. Come and meet us. We don't bite.
Not much.